This was a very quick trade. It was very unexpected. I just looked at the charts at the right time and it was at the right place. But I want to break it down for you because it just reiterates the strategy that I've been sharing with you guys and just showing you how it actually works. And it really has a high success rate. This was a fantastic trade I took last night, and I always want to make it a point to share all my trades with you, my winning trades, and then share how I got into the trade, what was my mindset, what was my thoughts, because then at least you can see how this strategy is implemented and how it actually gets very good results. So I don't know if you guys noticed last night, certain coins were just pumping like crazy. This coin, TUT, which has been on my radar, you won't even believe it, it pumped 239% in a matter of an hour. I think it was an hour. Yeah. 3 hours, it pumped 200%. So what did I do? Just like the strategy, guys, I went on to a higher time frame. I think I looked on a 4 hour and I marked out the swing high points. So you can see this was where price was very close to at the time. So I marked out that point, and this was like, okay, price is sweeping a swing high point. I also marked out these wicks. It's another thing I like to do, and I'm going to be sharing it in a very recent training that's coming up, where I mark out the wicks and I measure the 50% of the wick range. So right now it's tapping into liquidity, because whenever you see big wicks like this, they represent liquidity. So I select the wick and this becomes a liquidity zone. So right now you can see it's sweeping a swing high and it's tapping into a liquidity zone. So then I zoomed in a little bit to my 1 hour to get a better look. And at the time when I got to this, it looked like this. Well, it actually looked like this. Okay, so I'm looking at my higher time frame. I zoomed in on my 1 hour now because I'm very clear of where I want to look for my entry. Price is tapping into my higher time frame level, higher time frame zone. I see it tapping, it's sweeping. So this is a sweep. Price is sweeping a swing high point now. So now I'm waiting for the next candle. And you can see, now that I got the next candle, what do I see? I see a failure to displace on my 2 candle confirmation, because I like to use 2 candle pairs for confirmations. We get an initial sweep and now we got another sweep. So once I saw this, let's wait for the next candle, confirmed to me there was a downside. So I could go into a very low time frame. My entry time frame is my 5 minute. Once I see this sweep happening, we mark out the CISD, which is over here. And that becomes our perfect entry. This token was amazing because it pumps. If you see a token that does like 200% in 2 hours, it's going to drop like 30 or 40% very fast. These are very high win rate trades that you can get. And they're often, I love these. These are my favorite ones to find in the market. So we've got a bearish there. You can see what happens next. We just get massive drops. I'm actually still holding a position in this trade because I think it's going to go lower. See, price retraces, and look how amazing. Where does it retrace to? It retraces to the CISD level. Okay, a little bit higher than that level, and then it just drops again. Let's see here. So this is the formula. The formula is really simple, guys. When you break it down to its core bones, it's really simple. And I'm just going to be, every session, I'm going to be taking a little component, going over it, taking another component, going over it, until you are just so familiar with it that you'll just be able to see it easily. Because that's the thing is, you know, sometimes you just need to be able to become familiar with something to the point that you can actually see it clearly. And then when you see it clearly, you're going to see it all over the show. So if I look over here, we got a swing high. There was also taken here. So you can see price retraced back to the CISD. If I go into a higher time frame, it'll look so much clearer. You can see over here, if I look on a 1 hour, look how much clearer. See, now that we go into 1 hour, it's rejecting the CISD. Look how clear that looks. Not only is it rejecting the CISD, but it's also causing a sweep of the previous candle because we're using that 2 candle confirmation. See, sweep of the previous candle, tapping into the CISD. This would have been a fantastic second entry. If you missed this entry, this would have been a great entry to catch. Sweeps, and you can see over here, this big candle sweeps over here. So we can go into the lower time frame to mark out the second CISD for that entry. This CISD entry would have been over here, and it still would have been a fantastic entry. You can see price broke below it, retested it over here, and then it just melted, just dropped down.